Be videotaped and recorded. Is everybody okay with that? Okay. Are you ready?
Does it require a change in the chairmanship or what? Usually Mr. Richardson conducts the meeting. I'm just wondering if there's been a change.
Changed it last
Yeah,
month.
we
Last
voted
month.
last month.
We all voted.
Oh, okay, I thought,
Yeah. You thought we were playing musical chairs? Or- I don't know. No, we voted.
well, I thought that was a vote on the development authority.
No,
But
no.
that's okay, I'm fine with you being chair.
Okay.
I just thought that vote was on the development
Oh,
authority.
no,
But that's fine.
not yet, not yet. And so thank you. So the first item on the agenda is a motion to approve the minutes of the June 8th, 2026 meeting.
I will make that motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call, please.
I did have one point, was that on the minutes, we voted on the Marshfield Housing Authority management. It's on the second page of the minutes. And there was some discussion about keeping the word management in. Remember, we were voting to accept a grant of $25,000 from the CPC. And during the course of the discussion, the chair thought that we should, well, I had suggested that we include the dollar amount, and the chair commented that the word management should be left out. Do you recall that, Mr. Richardson?
Yes,
That it should be left out,
the word, right?
the word management should have been left out.
So in the top three paragraphs of page 2 of the minutes, in the second and third paragraph, there's reference to the housing authority management, housing authority management. Should that management word be stricken from both of those references?
Would you like to do that?
For the second paragraph and the third paragraph,
Yeah.
I'm just rereading the second paragraph. Yes,
Okay, so I motion to strike the word management.
except that you would include, in the second paragraph, you would include Marshfield Housing Authority. Right now it says Housing Authority Management, so it should say Marshfield Housing Authority and strike the word management.
On the third
Third
paragraph.
paragraph, just
Okay.
strike the word management.
So I just motion to strike that.
Excellent. Do we need to second
I'll
for
refine
that?
my motion to include those amendments.
I'll second it.
Shall we take a roll call?
Commissioner Peskovich?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Bennett?
Yes.
Commissioner Richardson?
Yes.
Commissioner Delgado?
Yes. Next item on the agenda is a motion to approve payables.
I will make that motion to approve the accounts payable payment 17352 to payment 17403 for a total of $90,430.66.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Yes. Oh, boy. Yeah, where am I? Here we go. Paper.
In the meantime, can we also just look at item number 17392 and identify who what Odyssey Advisors is?
Yeah, I was wondering that too.
That has to do with the retirement, is that correct?
Yeah, they're financial analysts, and every 2 years they have to analyze the retirement plan that Marshfield Housing Authority has to make sure that it's on track, and that's required every 2 years, all housing authorities have to do that audit.
Okay, thank you.
Interesting, so we should expect to see that every 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do they find, may I ask, maybe, I don't know, maybe somebody can tell me, how do you find these consultants generally? Do they also, do they participate like in a state vendor program or something?
They have to be approved by the state.
Yeah. Okay. I have a couple of questions. Again, just to clarify what the items are for, basically, and that's 17355 Aiden Keene, Bayberry Road, Hanson, $300.
That was for entertainment for our 250th birthday celebration here at the Housing Authority.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is that the Elvis?
Yes.
Ah,
That's Elvis?
Yeah. You did a great job, didn't he?
Awesome.
yeah, I couldn't attend because I had something going on. Unfortunately, I had to miss it, but I saw it on there was a video that was taken.
Nice.
It was good.
Yeah, it was excellent.
Everybody was having fun.
Does that come out of the allocation for the Tenants Association, or how does
No, that was a special grant from the state with the
Okay.
250th birthday celebrations.
I see, okay. And then Collins Images, 17359.
It's uniforms, uniforms.
Do we have you? Oh, I mean, for maintenance? on it?
Yes.
Oh, I see, okay. Let's see, I think that was all I had spotted. Thank you.
Okay.
Besides the other thing you already got.
Thank you. So a roll call, please.
Commissioner Pestovich,
Yes.
Commissioner Daley,
Yes.
Commissioner Bennett,
Yes,
Commissioner Richardson,
Yes.
Commissioner Delgado.
Yes. Okay. Next item on the agenda is motion to start public hearing for the review of the Marshfield Housing Authority proposed 2027 annual plan, including the capital plan. Now, we all were sent the 93 pages of information. Did everybody have a chance to look it over? And
Well, I need a motion to open the meeting. We need a motion to open the meeting.
to open that particular, okay. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion, we open the meeting.
So, second,
Commissioner Pestovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Daley.
Yes.
Commissioner Bennett.
Yes,
Commissioner Richardson.
Yes.
Commissioner Delgado.
And I
Yes.
think if I may make a motion to waive the reading of the public notice, if you don't have it in front of you. Typically, you have to read the public notice for a public hearing. So I just motion to waive the reading of the public notice.
I'll second that.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
I'll second that.
John seconded.
All right.
Thank you.
Commissioner
Roll
Pestovich.
call?
Commissioner
Yes.
Pestovich, Commissioner Daley.
Yes.
Commissioner Bennett.
yes,
Commissioner Richardson.
Yes.
Commissioner Delgado.
Yes. Rick, would you like to
Sure.
share with us?
I can open it up for public comments at this point, or I can go right into it, right through the line, you know.
I'd like to hear
Okay.
what you have to say. Yes. I know other people think.
Oh, yeah.
Are you gonna go through page by page?
I'm not gonna read every word,
But you'll go through. So
but what I'm gonna do is just, you know, not many people in here, but I'll stand up and,
But would you mind just saying what page you're on, because I know I made notes on certain pages.
sure, yeah, I won't really go fast here. They're not, these pages aren't numbered, comes out of the state system. The pages aren't numbered completely from 1 to 96 or whatever the final page is. So it can get tricky, but, so let me get to the first page here.
Oh, you have it on paper form? Oh, okay.
Well, it's in sections too.
I used to.
I've
Want me to
read
share?
through
Oh,
the
you
public
have
notice.
it? Okay.
Someone else.
So the first page starts out, just gives a little background on the annual plan document. Okay, I know a lot about this because I was at the state and helped when the regulations came out. Came out of Chapter 235 of the Acts of 2014. and that required this annual plan. So the annual plan is a document compiled by Housing Authority staff in advance of each new fiscal year. The plan serves as both the tool for the local housing authority to reflect upon prior fiscal year and as an opportunity to develop a clear and transparent plan that builds on successes, identifies needs, and corrects any issues that have arisen in prior years. Additionally, the annual plan is an important tool for tenants who may use the document to better understand the operations and needs of their housing authority, advocate for changes to policies and procedures, access data about the housing authority, and participate in their housing authority's governance. So the second paragraph just kind of adds on to that. The law that mandates the annual plan is an act relative to local housing authorities. Again, that's the chapter 235 of the Acts of 2014. If you click on that link, you get quite a bit of documentation to read. The Marshfield House, the annual plan is basically broken up into 9 sections. So the first section is overview and certification. Then the second section is the capital improvement plan. The third section is maintenance and repair plan. The fourth section is the operating budget. The fifth section is narrative responses to the performance management review, and the acronym for that is PMR, and their findings. What the performance management review is, it's the state's report card on the housing authority. So they look at every facet of the operations from, financial, rent collection, maintenance, capital, etc. And they kind of grade you accordingly. Policies is the 6th section. 7 is waivers. If we have any waivers from any of the state regulations, which we don't, you list them out in that section. The 8th section is a glossary, and the 9th section is called other elements. Those other elements could include any approval documents, any public comments. So any comments that come out of the public hearing, I'll upload to that other elements section. So I record those, I write them out. It can include the tenant satisfaction surveys. So the state puts out tenant satisfaction surveys. I think they haven't done this in a while, and they're random. They don't go out to every single employee. I think when I met with the local tenant organization, I don't think anybody had an answer that they've received.
Not this year, I did
No,
about 3 years ago.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say about.
So
3
they're
years into
operating-
2023, I think.
Yeah, I've reported to them that this isn't really good because you're including very old data that is not very useful to an annual plan that's supposed to report on your plans for the year and look back on the previous. So you really don't have a good comparison there. So, but that other element section can include that tenant satisfaction survey. Just know that if you look at the top, it's going to be dated. It's old data. It can include performance management review report and any other documents that we might need to add or that anybody might want added. So again, the first page here. So this little grid here shows the state-aided public housing developments for Marshfield, and we all know our developments. We've got 10 scattered sites. It doesn't list out every address on here. T-Rock Gardens, Elderly 667-1, T-Rock Grace Rider Complex 667-2, and then the family units, the 3 buildings of family units, which are program 705. It doesn't say that in the development number, not sure why. Circle that. And then there's a little explanation of the Massachusetts rental voucher program. The next page is just a listing of the Housing Authority's office address and contact information, and then a listing of the Board of Commissioners. We will notice that Helen Bennett's term shows expired. We're waiting on an appointment letter from the town, and this happened, I think, last year as well. So I think that the towns are a little slow on the documentation side of things, so we need to follow that up. But it will be recorded in the plan as a note, as was last year.
And then when is this plan effective?
This plan has to be submitted to the state with comments from both the local tenant organization, which are included, and the public hearing, and has to be submitted by July 31st. This year, the state did a lot of software changes to their systems. So if you remember and look back to last year, we were an entire month earlier because we're a June fiscal year end.
Right.
What they did, because their software systems weren't ready yet, they bumped all the June fiscal year ends, which is about 25% of 234 local housing authorities. They bumped them all and put them all on the September fiscal year end, along with the September fiscal year end housing authorities. So they've got double duty. So everything kind of shifted, and they made all the housing authorities kind of hurry up and get this stuff done based on their software system changes. So it hasn't been fun, but we've been moving at light speed, to put it that way.
So then shouldn't we change Cecilia to being the chair when we submit this plan?
That's a good point.
And also change me from chair to
Yeah.
the member or governor's appointee?
And my term is, needs to be updated as well.
Okay, John?
Yeah, if I may, as far as the expiration of the terms,
Mhm.
all housing authorities have terms that have to be staggered. So I think it lists my term expiring in 27/1 with John's, and that can't be right.
No, this is the old,
Yeah,
I ran, the previous, this doesn't reflect the last election.
yeah, so your term actually expires what year?
31, I think.
31, so his is incorrect. And Kerry's is listed as expiring in 30. I'm wondering how we arrived at that.
I'm not sure.
Because you don't have an expiration.
I don't have an expiration.
Your expiration.
They actually do
But
have,
it is,
ex-
it's,
they usually do have expiration dates, because when you get appointed, it's a
Right,
5-year term.
Right.
And so every 5 years that has to
But
rotate.
see, Kerry hasn't been
But he hasn't been
appointed
reappointed, so it
since
stays,
1984 or something.
Until-
but he stays on.
Right, I understand that, but it's like, I don't know how you get the term 2030.
There might be, on paper, there's a
On
date somewhere.
paper, there's
yeah.
a date,
Yeah.
when he started, the year that he started.
Probably 2025.
No.
So no, oh, going back.
That, yeah.
Who appointed you, Kerry? Was it Sergeant or was it?
He's a ghost back so
Patrick?
far, I can't remember. Now,
Go well, yeah.
You don't remember if it was Patrick or who it was?
I think it was Governor Patrick.
Patrick, right, okay.
And I'm sorry, one other question. The meeting with the tenants board, that already occurred? Or
It
is
did.
that-
It was on June 6th, right? I believe, yeah.
First Saturday. in
My
June.
memory serves me.
Was 6. June
Yeah.
6.
It was Saturday, June 6th.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So we'll include some notes and to the extent we can get some documents, we'll upload those documents. The next section is the plan history. So this goes through all of the steps that this plan goes through in the system and are required by law. So the plan was advertised, the public hearing was advertised on the LHA website on the 21st of May. It has to, by law, it has to be advertised 45 days in advance of the hearing. It was advertised in the Coastal Mariner on the same date. It was advertised in the town. We sent it to the town, so the town put it on their website. Last year, they had a 30-day, they wouldn't post it 45 days in advance. They had a 30-day, but I guess they did this time around.
Yeah.
So,
That was a clerk's office issue.
oh, was it? Okay.
And
Notify,
also, can I interrupt one more thing? Is the link that's posted on the agenda, that's a link to the plan?
yeah,
So that was also posted on
yep, they got the same posted.
is it on the LHA site?
It's on the LHA site as well.
Well, thank you very much, that's good. Everybody should know that if they want to see the plan, they can just click that link.
Yep.
And
What it actually does is it brings you, you're able to see all 234 local housing authorities, and you're able to see the last 5 plans. So Yeah, you can go back and look at,
Goal 5.
you can look at them.
Thank you.
Let's see, what's next here. So the local tenant organizations were notified of the hearing, and we had our meeting, well, they were notified of the hearing on the same date. And the draft was posted on, we actually posted the draft on the 20th. That's when in the system. And then we're at the point right now, the annual plan hearing, the presentation, and ultimately the vote.
Do we have to fill in item E though?
I do this based on, this will be today.
But
The-
well, how about, it says hold quarterly meeting with LTO to review the draft AP.
That was the meeting we had.
That was already.
On June
Yes.
5th?
June 6th.
6th.
Thank you.
Okay. And then, let's see, the next page is just it's a blank page, but it's the leader to the next page. So the next page is just, I'm not gonna read through all these paragraphs, but what is the capital improvement plan? How are projects funded each year? Why plans and costs may change? I think what they're referring to is project costs mainly here, because this is the capital plan section. Why project schedules can shift. So it's, a little bit of information so people can understand how, what happens in projects. I think we all do, because we've, through all of the motions that happen and the change orders and discussions, we know that projects change a lot. And then other funding sources. So goes through the different types of funding. EOHLC has many kind of buckets of funding. They have an emergency reserve bucket. It's all state bond funding basically, but an emergency reserve, a compliance reserve bucket of funds for lead-based paint, asbestos type issues, accessibility, compliance. And then they have special programs. I think that we've all seen the HILAP, High Leverage Asset Preservation Program, which is basically a match program. So the dollars that we're getting from CPC, we're turning around and we're submitting. I have my modernization coordinator now working on an application to the state to match those funds. So they're pretty spot on with those applications, but we're getting ready to submit that. And then obviously we go out to other funds, CPC fund, any other grant funding. We just submitted an application for the creative placemaking grant. So that was up to $490,000. So it was, we're crossing our fingers there. We're supposed to hear in about another 2 weeks they're gonna pick, I think they've got a pool of, I think it was was it 10 million? I forget the notice, but they're gonna make up to, I think they said up to 10 awards of 500,000, so,
Wow.
yeah. So, maybe it was only 5 million then. Yeah. it was
I thought we were in line for like $20,000.
What is that to be used for?
We went for the max.
The creative
So-
placemaking?
The creative-
That's the same one, the art?
Yes.
The
Yeah.
art?
It had
Bring
to
art
have,
to the-
it had to bring in an artistic element. It's
Yeah.
very, they had actually links about, making sure that, there's a process too. So should we get chosen for this, we'll move forward with a schedule. We'll hire an architect. It'll be a big project. The residents will be engaged. We'll have several resident meetings. So it's, we weren't just gonna do a small application, so we're doing that here.
This,
Number of these.
FYI, this is the one that there were several board members that were gonna be involved in
Yeah.
also. And so if you do have those meetings,
Yeah.
Joe's gonna be involved.
Yeah,
Cecilia, and then
And Helen.
Tenants Association.
Right.
And that was the one that was delayed by a month or something on the state
Yeah.
side.
What was?
It was, the application deadline was
Oh,
extended.
correct, yes.
Can we get a copy of that proposal?
Yeah. I was gonna ask, did you, or no?
No, we haven't.
Okay, you should all see that.
We voted
Because it's been
to approve the application.
Submitted, all right. Let me make sure that gets in your hands.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Okay. The next page is a list of all the active projects, which many of these were actually done. I can zip through them here. The flooring replacement at the Congregate at Grace Ryder, there were actually 3 phases of that. They're all done, complete. They've been billed out in fiscal year '26, which the state's fiscal closes on the capital side July 17th. So all of our invoices for any services provided in 2026 have to be submitted by that date. So we're on top of it.
So from the UHLC, their fiscal year closes July 17th?
Their fiscal year is June, but on the capital side,
On
the fiscal year closes June 30th,
Right.
but there's a grace period to get invoices in until July 17th.
Now, the just says active projects by fiscal year across the header. Are these all 26 or?
Yeah, these are all current in
It
26.
says by fiscal year.
Yep.
That means for this current fiscal year. I thought I was gonna see different fiscal years.
I think
You do
the next couple of pages, I think.
Proposed projects.
So the next one, so this is 26
Okay, this
current.
is 26.
Yeah, and then we go 27, 28, 29. I'll go through those in a second, but, so the rear deck replacement, that's at 4 Harlow Road. That's one of the, that has not taken place yet. So we're looking into, possibly using Marshfield vocational to help us out with that, so.
There's no number on that? Just says $0.
No, there's the second one down, 15,640. Yeah. Oh, this is updated.
We don't have
Which one are you looking at?
I have one, the second item is project 171114.
Yep.
Rear deck replacement force. There's no address, and then there's no dollar amount, unless you have it updated.
Yeah, that must have been, the software pulled it in. 'Cause,
Okay.
yeah, these get, as we go, these get republished to
Yeah.
include any new information.
Yeah, no, I downloaded this from the link that was sent to me.
Okay, all right.
So what amount is in there now, Rick? What's the updated dollar amount?
15,640.
Thank you.
Who liaises with that? Who is the liaison?
Usually it will, the modernization department will reach out. So either myself or Russell, or we'll have Molly, the modernization coordinator, start the dialogue, with them. The next project, roof replacement, 231 Careswell, 635 Ocean, that is complete, closed out. The reason they're still on here, you're probably wondering why are they still on here? We just haven't closed them out, and the state waits till the 9-month warranty inspection is done, and then they'll actually close them out in their system. But we go through to check, make sure that we build our admin costs to the project as well.
And there's a reference to ARPA, that means it doesn't come out of our budget?
No, that was completely funded by the American Recovery Act there. That funding that was awarded. AIP, that's a grant that the state gave Aging in Place. So it was a number of dollars per unit, and it amounted to $19,400 for the entire authority to use on any aging in place measures, handicap grab bars. We had some discussion about potential additional curb cuts, et cetera. That is still the total that we have there. We may have spent a few of those dollars already. Yeah,
We have.
I think it was a door closer?
Yes.
Yeah, I forget. The next project, the Master CFA, that's not really a project. That's the contracts for financial assistance, and all the award letters get documented under that project. So it's really kind of just a repository for that information in the system.
There's no dollar amount on that?
No, it's not meant to be a spending project. It's just meant to be a capture. The emergency fire alarm system replacement, we have not started that yet. The fact that where you see these zeros it means the state hasn't allocated to the control line of that project. The project has a proposed line, a control line, which means it's obligated, right? And an approved line, which once you get control, it approved populates as well. And then if the budget fluctuates, the project manager controls the budget, and then they'll up the control amount. So that's why we just haven't started that yet. Once the project starts, the first thing that happens usually is you hire an architect or an engineer. They follow along with the amount of money that's necessary to fund. So as the project moves along, they fund control appropriately.
So just a question on that one. Since it hasn't started, is there a reason we would not include that in the proposed projects for fiscal year 2027?
Because it carries forward. It's still in, it has a project number. So it's just a matter of pulling the trigger on it when we're ready to go with that system and getting that project rolling.
So how do you account for the dollars then?
That's,
In what fiscal year?
I think what happens is the project ultimately, Gary, gets done in fiscal '27, but it's on the books, so it's already an approved project by the state. Where the money comes from is up to us. We have to balance it out. So when we get to the fiscal '27 projects, we could say, you know, perhaps those aren't priority, and perhaps we should back up and fund those projects.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That on this one, since it says emergency fire alarm, to me, that's a, you know, a priority project. And then the next one also, the oil furnace replacement.
Right.
305. And I thought previously, anything that was not accomplished by the fiscal year end, we would actually have to list in the next fiscal year projects. So we would just carry those dollars over and just reallocate them to the next fiscal year.
And isn't there a class of priority projects?
So,
Yeah, every project's fine.
so just to clarify, these projects began and were funded in '27, but the project could go into the next fiscal year for completion.
Right.
And the funding would follow that under the
Right.
capital 5 years.
Right.
Okay.
That's right. We're constantly working with HLC. This plan is a rolling plan. So if we're not getting to projects because other projects had change orders that they needed to use some of our formula funding, so we got to defer something else and move it along. Most of the time, the state has come through with other awards, so we haven't had a lot of that problem. But again, they don't fund that control line. When you see the zero, that means it's not funded. They haven't pulled forward the bond funding to obligate it. They've approved the project, that gives it the 6-digit number, but moving it forward is a dance of all the other projects. So again, once this plan is approved too, it's gonna go through several revisions throughout the course of the fiscal year, okay? And that'll be up to the director, myself, it'll be up to the tenants. If we have an emergency out here, if something should happen, we need to do, you know, a project for some reason. We build that project in the system. It gets basically dragged in to fiscal '27, and then the state usually says, okay, well, we can't, you know, you haven't started this, but we want to start, you know, something else has got to bump out to '28, and so that's what we'll do, you know. And those will be discussed as we move forward. Let's see. The shower valve project, I'm sorry.
Septic.
I got one more.
Septic, which is.
So the energy, Webster Street for oil furnace. So the state does not replace fossil fuel equipment anymore, but they are gonna fund air source heat pumps for that, so with a separate award, so it won't come out of our formula funding. We're gonna get that project going. Webster Street is wrapping up, I believe they're starting the leasing process on it now to get it released.
It looks good. Looks really nice.
And so that'll have a brand-new 20-year life cycle to it, so. Septic replacement, 6671, that was the project with the paving out here that happened. So that is 100% complete. We just have to get it off the books here. Replace shower valves here at T-Rock Gardens, that is complete, 100% complete. I know we've billed admin on that, so it's just a matter of us closing, my department closing out the schedule on that. We'll pull it off this list. The 2 flooring replacements at Grace Ryder are complete. Again, I think we just billed the final amounts of admin on that in fiscal '26, so those are all closing out now.
So that is not a duplication, it's
It's
the
two
dollar
separate
amounts.
items.
So,
Yeah.
right, those were 2 separate phases. So this goes back, one was an ARPA funded, because that was the last of the ARPA money that we were given. And then the other 2, I phased, and we were able to kind of get them done one after another. Another ARPA project was a targeted award for the replacement of the Federal Pacific electrical systems here at T-Rock. That is still, we're waiting on Eversource. So we're really trying to chase them down. We're also waiting on the next project, the generator. We're waiting on Eversource there to change out the meters down there. And then that will give us the 100% capacity over on the storm switch there. The ADA shower tub conversion, that has not, T-Rock here has not started yet, so that's a tub conversion for all the ADA units to walk-ins. Flooring and insulation at Careswell, again, that's been on the books, and I have to talk to James about that because not really sure that, we've got to take another look at that to see if that needs to be done. It's a difficult house to work in too.
So, just a curious, this is a public record document, and we have the addresses of some of those sites. Is that something we were avoiding doing in the past?
Not to my knowledge. I mean, that an address isn't personally identifiable information,
You
but
don't have to-
we don't put names or anything, yeah. Or unit numbers, anything. I stay away from the unit numbers. Let's see. Cupola repair. So we did, as you all know, we did get a CPC grant for the cupola repair, which is great. And Russell's moving forward with that. We're drafting up a scope of work, and we're going to reach out for quotes from builders on that. Storm doors at the ADA units, that is complete, 100% complete, and we billed the admin on that. That was done by our force account, by one of our new carpenters. The bath remodel, tub accessibility in Unit 2, that has not started yet, so that we're going to look at in conjunction with the ADA shower work, possibly package that work together. The building envelope in 305 Webster is done, and I think we're just waiting on the contractor to submit his certificate of final completion so we can make his final payment. He's completed the punch list on that.
That's on tonight's agenda.
Yep.
Oh, it is?
That's on tonight's
I thought I had a motion in there. Couldn't remember when.
Mhm.
The security system for the community building, so we're looking at putting a security system in here, cameras. You know, we've had a couple of our other housing authorities have had some theft, so that's forthcoming. Wasn't able to get that one started this year. Exterior sign replacement at Grace Ryder. That we're looking at, we don't have any frontage on Grace Ryder. Just the 2 driveway entrances. The front piece of that property is the town's property. So I think we've got a request into the town. I'll have to double check with Russell for an easement, for a small easement. Is that
We're voting on
it?
that.
It is on here, okay. So that we can put an identification sign out there.
But you get a number though, 8,000.
Yeah, that's a budget number that we have. We use mainly use a sign company, Yankee Wood Carving, for most of.
Would there be costs related to getting the easement?
I'm sorry?
Legal costs related to the easement?
That wouldn't be in this project. If it needed to be, I'd have to talk to EOHLC about that, but we could, depending upon what those costs were.
Town
I
might
mean,
waive,
that's
town
probably-
might waive it anyway.
You think so? Yeah.
They've done that in the past, they did that at Enterprise Way,
Okay.
there's precedent for that.
All right. I'll just make a note. And then the final flooring replacement congregate in grit, there was phase 4, that's complete as well, done. And that's 100% billed. And then code compliance, exit signs and emergency lighting. So I think all the exit signs, I think the corridors in here don't have proper exit signage. So we're gonna look at this, we're doing this at the other housing authorities too. And then renewal of the emergency lighting. So that one, we need to look at.
So what's the status of that? Is it started?
It has not started yet, no.
Just a comment on the exterior sign replacement. I'm sure you have a great contractor already, considered. There are a number of sign companies in Marshfield who I think would be appreciative if you gave them a look.
Okay. Do you happen to know, have a short list or?
Don't want to mention any names.
Or a long, okay, we don't need to, that's fine.
But there
let me
are
just
A
make a
sign
note.
that's similar to the sign that's out front here.
Yeah, there are
They're
a couple of
standard-
companies that come up with
They're
the
standard
wood carved.
Yes.
But wasn't the sign a force project? Wasn't this a force project?
It is, we call it a force account project, but we're not gonna manufacture the sign.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll dig the post holes, we'll do all the labor work associated with it, the sign company comes out. So, but really, we'll manage it ourselves, and that keeps the costs down, We don't need to engage a designer, we don't need to, it's a small project. So we'll keep it in town, let's say that.
Would the Chamber of Commerce have a list, probably? Of,
I'm not sure.
I'm just trying to be fair to,
I'm not gonna say anything because I know some of the sign makers.
Right.
I don't want to be involved.
No, agreed, I
That's
don't
all right.
want, but that's why I'm suggesting that we could get a list somewhere, but.
We'll go to,
But Kerry's right.
we'll get competition from Marshfield, and
Local.
if we need additional competition, really all we need is 3, written quotes.
Yeah.
If we run short on one, we'll go get one somewhere else, but we'll get at
I
least.
mean, I even hope that if you're doing that deck work that we talked about, that there's not gonna be any hitches there, that engaging a local people that are in a vocational program or in a shop program or something like that. And
Yeah,
there's
obviously, if we-
precedent for
you
that.
know, If we did something like that, we dot our i's, cross the t's with respect to insurances, cut all of that, but
Yeah, you don't want to circumvent.
there are other,
Bid of
yeah.
procurements,
right.
is standards,
We clear it with the OHLC as well.
yeah.
All right, next, fiscal year 27. So on the plan for fiscal year 27, the state has made some, software changes. You'll look to see this, you'll see the same allocated number in all 3 fiscal years, the 229,708. And again, I kind of referred to this, it's a rolling, we have 3 years of committed bond funding, 3 years of awards, and those letters we voted on in the past. Fiscal 27, 28, and 29. The most recent vote was the 29 award. And so if chasing the balance on these things is like herding cats. But the 229 in the state software system, the reason they just push it forward is they figure, well, you're at least going to spend that amount the next year and at least the same amount the next year. If you look at the awards from 27, 28, 29, they escalate a little bit each year. So That's the thinking behind that number, if you're wondering. The first year, that's the available bond funding that we have rolling forward. So Kerry, based on your comment earlier on the jobs, the spending that we had coming out of fiscal '26, which was coming off of fiscal '25, right? We've got, if you added all three of our awards from '25, '26, '27, right? And then '26, '27, '28, going forward, the system's calculating a 229,708 balance, right? So we take that, and that's what we use for planning, okay? Is that what happens? No. I mean, day one where, I've already made a revision to the plan that was posted, the draft plan, after the resident meeting. So I did incorporate 2 smaller projects in there, and I just let the total go up. Okay, the software doesn't stop you. You'll notice my total is 256,087, and that on that 229. So I put notes in the system, the state system. They don't restrict you showing that, so I don't think this is going to be a problem. When we do submit it, they will tell me if there's an issue, and there's a possibility I might have to just revise the plan. But chances are they're going to approve that as is. And then we're just going to get into these projects one by one. So the first project we put in there is masonry repair and waterproofing at Grace Ryder. So on the front of Grace Ryder, some of the brick has got some settlement cracks in it, some pretty good settlement cracks, so we've got to fix those. And then we're going to waterproof the entire building, so we don't get any mold issues coming in or any infiltration. So that's one of the big projects. Masonry backer rod. So backer rod, for folks that may not know what it is, the masonry backer rod is usually around lintels or around cavities in the masonry before it gets, if there's a deep cavity, they'll put, all it is like a styrofoam circular, noodle. They come in different diameters. They'll put that backer rod to fill the majority of the cavity up before they put mortar in it, so that you're not using a ton of mortar to fill up the cavity. So that those two are going to go hand in hand. Right now, we've got an EOHLC architect that I think has already done a walkthrough with John Kennett around the property. And T-Rock Gardens tree removal. So we've got $11,500 for some basically securing the property from limbs, dangerous limbs, so that we don't get anything falling on roofs, etc. Accessibility walkway curb cuts. That's one I put in based on the local tenant organization feedback, the resident feedback. We've got some, some of the areas that are the curb is where the curb cuts are, but they're not real curb cuts per 521 CMR, which is the Massachusetts Accessibility Code. So we're going to take a look at getting some curb cuts put in there, some proper curb cuts. As it is now, some of the residents need to go long distances just to get to a proper curb cut, especially the ones in wheelchairs and the ones that have walkers or rollators.
It's in 27?
Excuse me?
That's in 27?
Did you add that to fiscal year '27?
Oh, yeah, that's in fiscal '27, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'm wondering, you said that the available formula funding is what, 256? Is that what you have?
No, that's the total. So when I added 2 projects, the one I just mentioned, I added the walkway curb cuts. That wasn't in my original draft. And I added unit 21A flooring replacement. The flooring is mismatched and it's buckling. It's really bad. It's a trip hazard. So
I'm going off of what I downloaded from what was emailed from Cecilia. So
yep.
I don't have what you're reading.
Right.
That'd be updated.
Yeah,
I don't have the updated, and this is not the updated version that was on the public notice.
I got a copy if you want,
I would
I can
like
give you a
that.
copy, but
It's hard for me to,
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else has got
It-
it.
No,
I think it was, well, we had sent one around electronically, I think, but.
I didn't
yeah.
get that version.
I think when I got it and distributed it,
Yeah,
the other one, the update probably wasn't done yet or completed or
right.
approved.
Let's see, Unit 21A flooring replacement. So back to your comment, Commissioner Pasevich, the 256 was, those two projects were added on to the original amount that I had in there.
Okay. Okay, sorry.
Sorry. And then, so that segue into fiscal year '28. So we've got window replacement. Grouped means that was, we had a couple of smaller window replacement projects, and the state decided, let's just group those together. That's at T-Rock Gardens. Site pole lighting. So we're looking at getting LED lighting in all the site poles here. Window replacement, building 3, I think that's the family. And I think some of these are phased out in the system. Low flow toilets at Grace Ryder, so looking to get water savings, low flow toilets there. I think the state may help us out on the sustainability side there. And then in fiscal '29, and again, this is just planning, kind of loading the state. The state wants, EOHLC wants to make sure your project pipeline is loaded. Their job is to spend the bond cap that they're given annually, or else, you know, typically I think they're working off of 100 to 105, maybe 110 million a year right now. If they don't spend that, they don't get that cap the following year. So they basically want all the 234 local housing authorities, they want them to load up their project pipeline. So that's what we do here, make sure that we've got plenty of projects in there. Kitchen cabinets and countertops, so fiscal year '29. Kitchen cabinets and countertops at 91 Chickatawbit, that's one of the scattered sites. Driveway installation at 1248 Ocean. Siding replacement at 4 Harlow. Community room flooring here at T-Rock Gardens, although this is done, this was recently done, so that is something. Oh, is this the hallways? That's the
Hallways
hallways.
here in the bathroom.
I need to change the title on that, hallways. Roof replacement at 4 Harlow. Family unit rehab at unit 24 and 28 at T-Rock Gardens. And exterior security lighting at Grace Ryder.
I just had a quick question on the window groupings. Did that move from maintenance into capital when they grouped them, or was that always in capital?
I believe this window replacement was always in capital.
Oh,
Why, did they, I don't think there was a window replacement on the extraordinary maintenance list, was there?
okay, I just didn't,
No.
I didn't know if when they grouped them, they moved it into capital because it was a larger amount.
Oh, no, I think we just had a couple of small projects, just due to the nature of the funding.
Oh, okay.
And then they said, well, wait a minute, you know, we've got window, let's just put them together and do a larger project. Let's see. And then years 4 and 5 of the plan, so they still do a 5-year plan, but years 4 and 5 are really just, they want you to just pick what your top priority project. So you're really looking out, we don't have any commitment from any award commitment on years 4 and 5. It really is just making sure that again, that project pipeline is loaded. So I started with the kitchen modernization, you know. Every housing authority's kitchens are old, the cabinets are old, and unfortunately, when you go to do kitchen modernizations, they're very expensive because of the amount of units. So let's see. The next project is still on the capital plan section. This is a narrative that talks about the different facets of the projects. So project closeout. It's a series of questions that we answer. Requests for additional funding. If we've made any requests for additional funding. Overall goals of the capital plan. changes from the previous capital plan, requirements from the previous capital plan approval, that EOHLC requirements, project priorities, high priority deficiencies, accessibility, special needs development. We do not have any special needs developments. That is DDS or DMH developments. The sustainability program, any solar initiatives?
So, just on that one, solar initiative,
Mhm.
so it says, does your current CIP contain roof replacement projects? We said no, but we do have two.
Yeah, you're right. It has, you're right. It has 4 Harlow, yeah, out in.
Four Hollow, and the other one was,
So I'm gonna change that answer, because, good catch, Kerry, thank you. Because they'll kick it back to me.
the other one was,
Here's one.
Our curb cuts also.
project number 171115.
For, what's that,
For 231 Careswell.
17115?
Careswell.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was, Careswell's done.
And then there's 635 over.
That was done, Kerry, already, so that,
All right.
And there's 635 Ocean, was that done? Or is that planned?
yeah, that was done as well, that was, those two went together. Yeah. And,
Joe, something on curb cuts at T-Rock?
yeah, that was a project that I added. It was feedback from the local tenant organization
Oh, I see, so.
for here at T-Rock, and I added a project that wasn't in the original draft plan.
For this fiscal year?
That was for 27 coming up, yes, well, that's right, we're in this fiscal year.
So does that mean that if we do a roof replacement in the future, we're gonna include solar?
They're gonna look at solar, yeah. They're looking at projects right now where if the housing authority's gonna do a roof replacement project, it's prime for weaving in solar, and then they're handling the cost of the project. And then the housing authority gets the benefit back over the course of the sale of the electricity back into the grid. So Hingham's got a big roof project coming, no, not Hingham, Holbrook had one done recently. So they looked at that roof, so they're gonna go put panels on that. They did a whole kind of a pro forma, and so we can definitely, I mean, for Harlow, I don't even know what the roof looks like. It's probably a pretty straightforward gable roof.
So it includes residential sites as well as bigger sites?
Yeah, but to be honest, those aren't gonna generate much, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and there
Just
might
a
be-
single house.
The neighborhood, it might be unsightly too.
That's not what they're looking for, right? You know, I think they're looking for the big developments. The Hingham might, I know Kevin doesn't want it, but.
Well, Hingham has its own electric company.
But the income generated could be very significant.
Yeah, so let me make a couple of notes on that in the plan and record it, and we'll chase it down.
And the curb cut work is not considered an accessibility project?
No, it would be.
Okay.
It would be. So one of the things that I mentioned, if you recall, Helen, in the meeting, that we would go to EOHLC and see if they could give us some code compliance money, some compliance reserve on that, just because it's necessary. This is a big development. It's really, honestly, I think it should have been done in the project when we did it. But they only put in the one at the crosswalks and one up at the top of the circle, I think, and that was it. So, let's see, resilience, so the state has a new resilience program as well. So any issues of resiliency, we can, you know, if we've got, I know that all of the properties that are down near the coast there are flagged for vulnerability for storm surge. So, you know, should we get into any work that's necessary down there, that's something we can follow up with the OHLC. Fossil fuels, they want to know if you've got any projects or anything, heating systems that are fossil fuel related that you're replacing. So they're basically chasing down this is all has to do on the state side with the 2050 carbon footprint, net zero. So that's where all of this is coming out of. Vacant units, so just a listing of any vacant units. There were none at the time. EOHLC RCAP assistance. Again, the RCAP stands for Regional Capital Assistance Team. That's another program that came out of Governor Patrick's 2014 Chapter 235. So we work with the Southeastern RCAP down in Taunton, and they help us manage any small, if we get a lot of projects going, they'll help us manage some of the smaller ones. And then a certification state and any other comments. Then we get into the maintenance and repair plan. Next page. So just, I'm not going to read through all of this. This is, the maintenance and repair plan, I think, changes the least. Because it's pretty cast in stone. We've kind of, I won't say perfected it, there's always room for opportunity, there's always opportunity for improvement. But this plan is really kind of cookie cutter. So maintenance objective, about the maintenance plan, it talks about classification, prioritization, emergency response system, normal maintenance response system, how work orders are managed. It has a narrative regarding the maintenance plan and a policy statement. Talks about the preventative maintenance schedule, and that's pretty cookie cutter. What are some of the things we do in January, February, March, all the way through December? Has a routine maintenance schedule and a unit inspection section. Talks about the classification and prioritization of maintenance tasks. Has the emergency request system. So it gives out the call answering service numbers, and those haven't changed. So for all the residents, I think they're fairly familiar with when they have a work order that they need done, they call it into the maintenance system. It gets logged into the work order system, which is computerized, generates a work order. That work order gets sent down to John Kemet. John Kemet takes care of it. Then there's a list of emergencies. So we give the residents a typical list of emergencies so that they have some direction on what to call in as emergencies. The next section is the normal maintenance request process. So again, it lists the call answering service and the Housing Authority office. Then it has a work order management procedure. So that's the procedure we follow for work orders. The maintenance plan narrative goes through questions on what we've done, what our goals of the maintenance plan. So I'll read through a few of these here. So narrative question 1, how would you assess your maintenance operations based on feedback you've received from staff, tenants, EOHLC's performance management review, and agreed upon procedures and other sources. The MHA maintenance staff are trusted and respected to always get the job done. Management frequently receives positive feedback from residents at various meetings and events. We continue to receive positive feedback from EOHLC with no findings on the PMR. The lead maintenance supervisor is well known and respected in the professional community. Narrative question 2. What changes have you made to maintenance operations in the past year? We continue to maintain maintenance operations, and this past year had a surplus operating reserve as a result, in part, of good maintenance. MHA utilized the surplus to execute many extraordinary maintenance projects, which will help keep operating expenses low. Narrative question 3, what are your maintenance goals for this coming year? MHA goals to continue to keep grounds safe and clean and ensure that all physical plant systems are in good operating order. Maintenance budget summary. Again, keep in mind this is looking back a full year to the closed budget, last year's closed budget, so it's age data. Unit turnover summary. So how many turnovers we had last fiscal year, the average time, for maintenance ready and the average time to lease up.
Is that a 60-day average turnover for, is that due to finding candidates?
Some of it is that.
Or is it due to the level of maintenance
The
required?
CHAMP system
The
can
CHAMP.
sometimes be challenging. Sometimes they put in what they call list polls. So the system identifies, it can identify up to so many people, 30, 40, 50 people, not on the smaller authorities, but I've seen list polls at Quincy on 50 people, but it'll do a list, it'll identify the people that are queued up on the list. And then it starts the process of asking those people to verify all their information.
So what's the administrative overhead on that, as far as in that 60 days, how much of that is that part of it?
Good question. I don't know.
Okay.
Not my wheelhouse, but Kelly, can you?
I would say as soon as we get a vacancy, the tenant selectors are pulling lists
Oh,
of
okay.
potential tenants for that particular unit. If it's a second floor unit, we can't ask for a list of handicapped people,
Yeah,
because they
So
can't do
you're
this.
narrowing down.
So
Right.
you already have cut out half of your,
yeah.
Right.
But it just, 60 days seems like a long time for a turnover,
It's-
maintenance-wise, so I'm guessing
it's
it's
probably
administrative.
I would say it's probably both, 30 days, and then we can't lease up a unit until it's released from maintenance.
Right.
We can start the process, but we can't lease up.
Now that all gets shifted up to, what's the name of the third-party consultant?
AGS,
AGS?
they choose priority.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's another whole system that has to
Okay.
tell us what the priorities are. So it gets a little, it's
I was
tough.
gonna say, that there has to be a way to anticipate when ultimately the unit is released and available.
And it's generally within generally it's
Yeah.
within 30 days. However, we have had units that require major renovation.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
That, take 3 months. We have Webster Street that had to be taken offline.
Right.
My question also is that on paragraph D, maintenance budget summary, is there a year to assign to these things? It says last fiscal year budget. What fiscal year was that?
That would be fiscal year '25.
Yeah, because everything seems to run.
See, because that's the last, fiscal year '26 budget hasn't been closed out yet. So, and I don't even know, John, when do you think we'll get fiscal year '27's budget?
Next May.
Generally May, April, May.
I mean,
April or May.
it's kind of kooky. You're looking back a full year, so
Well, that way the budget's right,
yeah.
because we got 9 months of operating expenses
Yeah,
already
right.
in. Do you want it right, or do you want it fast?
so-
So yeah, it's 2025.
$304,000 is the fiscal '26 budget. Is that right?
Current fiscal year budget, last fiscal year actual spending, and last fiscal year budget. So you have 324? This says 304.
304,070.
There's been an update in their budget system.
So the current, for the year that we're just finishing,
Yep.
it's 304 or 324.
No, this is current. So this is last fiscal year, which is 2025, right?
It's 257, 150.
Yep, that was the budget, and then the actual spending was 330 on that,
Right.
right? And then this current fiscal year's budget, fiscal '26, is 304,070. We don't have that actual spending yet. I don't know when we get that, but
Well, we have up till May, so we got 1 more month.
one more month, yeah.
So we'll have that number probably at the next board.
Okay. Yep. Okay. The next section, so our attachments, the preventative maintenance schedule, which is the next 12, 13 pages, which is again that monthly schedule of the typical tasks that we kind of guide ourselves. It's really just a guideline on what to get, what we should be doing each month. Obviously, in the fall, we prep all the snowplow equipment and the snow blower equipment, make sure the oils changed, everything else. And, you know, in the springtime, we get the, you know, the lawn equipment ready, the, you know, all the grounds equipment ready. And then deferred maintenance schedule, we do not defer maintenance, we do it, so we have no deferred maintenance. So again, I'm gonna flip through those pages. Does anybody have any questions on any of that activity or? And past the deferred maintenance section. And then we get into the budget.
I just like the thing about water flowers daily. Come on.
Does John do a lot of watering? Maybe not when it rains, right?
Not when it rains,
Not today.
not today.
And weed flowers beds.
Yes.
We don't have our chief gardener here.
That's done by maintenance staff,
Okay.
weeding our flower beds.
Do we do seasonal hiring?
No.
Stuff like that? Okay.
The next section is the annual operating budget, and again, it just talks as a little narrative on the annual operating budget, and then operating reserve, a narrative on the operating reserve. And then we look at,
Just one question on the operating reserve.
yep,
You know, last sentence, we got 57.04 of the full reserve amount defined above. Do we need to spend any of that down? So that we don't lose it?
operating reserve at the end of fiscal year '24 was 266,472, which is 57.4. That was the purpose of those extraordinary maintenance projects.
So that was 25, so we don't,
That was higher. So this is, whatever percentage here is pulling from their systems. So, you know, chances are that that may have been updated from when the original draft was posted because of reporting and extraordinary maintenance billing. You know?
so I'd just like to make a note on that we need to determine what that reserve is for fiscal year '26.
Colin, is,
That's what,
the state wants you to keep 35%, is that the cap?
at least 35.
At least
At least
35, right?
35.
Right.
I think the 50 is probably pretty, 50 to 60%, I think is pretty good.
Average.
They like to see
They
that.
like to see
They
that,
like to
yeah.
see, you don't want to go much higher than that.
Yeah, that's
So
what I'd just like the internal note, just to make the.
Yeah,
if
John
we need
keeps
to
track
spend
of
it.
that.
John and James,
John
yeah.
and James.
You want anything
they
captured in the
keep-
plan on that,
They
or
keep
no?
it very,
May is 57% right now, if you look at the May.
Yeah.
financial.
so we're still at the 57, so.
Okay.
If it gets too high, then you'll get a list of the extraordinary.
Extraordinary maintenance.
That's what we did last year.
Correct. That's what's spent down.
All right.
So the next 1, 2, 3 pages are, 3, 4 pages are the revenue and expenses budget, all the revenue expenses budget line items. This is a typical list of all the state's budget line items for all on the revenue side and the expense side. And again, you're seeing 2024 and then 2025 approved. So you're looking at an entire year. We don't even have 2025% change, 2024 actual to 25 budget. You don't even have 25 actuals in here. Which is, yeah, if I'm reading that correctly. So you're looking at old data, which is, again, this is the way their system is pulling from the data that's in there. And then the next page is, and when I meet with the local tenant organizations, not just for Marshfield, but for the other housing authorities that we manage as well, I really focus on this page, these next couple of pages, because it's an explanation of all the budget accounts. And I think it's really good for all the residents to read this information, and it helps them understand more, as to all the different aspects that we go through, not just on the capital side, but on the fiduciary side, on the finance side, on the operating side. So, I think this was one of the best parts of this annual plan, is the explanations. That's the next, I think, 4, 5, 6 pages. Yeah. And then we get into this page, it says narrative responses to the performance management review findings. Looks like that. All right. I'll let everybody catch up.
1 of 10 in that section.
Section 5.
It starts with page 1 of 10. Is everybody there? Yeah, okay. So the performance management review conducted by the Department of Housing and Community Development, they still haven't changed some of their wording in here. EOHLC, for the LHA fiscal year resulted in the following ratings. Criteria which received a quote-unquote corrective action rating show both a reason for the rating and a response by the LHA. The reason indicates the LHA's understanding of why they received the rating, while the responses describe their goals and the means by which they will meet or improve upon the performance-based assessment standards established by EOHLC in the PMR. When the PMR rating is quote-unquote operational guidance, the LHA may have responded but was not required to. So under the category of management, there were no findings. Under the category of tenant accounts receivable, or the subcategory of tenant accounts receivable, there was a corrective action. Reason, we said residents on limited incomes are faced sometimes with the hard decision of which bill to pay: food, laundry expenses, bus fare, travel, rent. Sometimes rents do not always take first place. As a result, the resident's account goes into arrears. Response: when this happens, MHA schedules a housing hearing with the resident and works with them to get on a repayment plan and schedule. The property manager works diligently to ensure that rent collections are performed. The subcategory certifications and reporting submissions. Timely submissions of statements and certifications. We received operational guidance on that. I believe because we missed one deadline by a couple of days. So the reporting submissions have to be in by the 30th of the month, every quarter.
Every quarter,
Every quarter.
by midnight.
And we missed one of the dates. Completion of mandatory online board member training, no findings. Subcategory annual plan submitted, no findings. Staff completed relevant certification or trainings, no findings. Category financial, no findings. Current operating reserve as a percentage of total maximum reserve level, no findings. Category capital spending, timely spending of capital funds awarded under the formula funding program, no findings. Category CHAMP, paper applications are available, received, and entered into CHAMP. So our admin have to, if somebody submits a paper application for CHAMP, because that's an online web-based system, but if they can't do it themselves, they submit a paper application, we have to take all of that data off that paper application and enter it into the system for them.
Is that an issue?
It can be at some authorities, but it hasn't been here.
No. You only have a certain time period.
Do you mean an issue here, or, no, it's not.
No, there's no findings.
Well, I
Vacancy,
mean, it says no findings, but it hasn't been an issue. When you say there's no findings,
well, that just means
Well,
that,
you have a certain period of time, you have to have them entered within 15 days, or you get a finding.
Yeah.
So all of the data gets entered in within.
any paper applications that we received here were entered into the CHAMP system within 15 days, so we didn't get a finding on that. Otherwise, we would have got a corrective action.
yeah, I was gonna say, it's like, no problem.
So it's you pass, fail, right? Or,
Yeah.
Audits, so they're auditing a course in school.
yeah. Let's see, vacancies are recorded correctly and occupied using CHAMP operational guidance. I'm not sure, we didn't need to provide an explanation there, but I think what.
Generally, that's a typo, it's a typo.
Oh, that was a typo, okay. The state doesn't give a lot of
They
grace
don't care.
to these, you know, you miss a day, that's it, it's a finding. Fair housing policies uploaded, no findings, so we had all of our fair housing policies uploaded. On the facility management side, inspection standards and practices. 100% of units inspected during fiscal year under review, no findings. Unit inspection reports create, track, and report work orders for inspection repairs and inspection work orders completed within 30 days, no findings. Unit inspection reports accurately reflect necessary repairs, no findings. Work orders created for every vacancy and completed within 30 days, corrective action. Reason, Unit 16A was received by maintenance on October 11, 2024, and completed December 5, 2024. Unit 6 Congregate was received by maintenance on 6/24 and completed 8/9/24. These units both required work that was more extensive than the average vacancy turnover. Response, MHA continues to strive to meet all deadlines to turn its vacancies over to the leasing department on time. Vacancy turnover work orders accurately reflect necessary repairs, no findings. On the facility management preventative maintenance standards and practices category, LHA preventative maintenance plan accurately reflects all necessary work to maximize life of components, no findings. Work order types and systems, all emergency work orders are created, tracked, reported, and completed within 48 hours, no findings. All requested work orders are created, tracked, reported, and completed within 14 days or added to the deferred maintenance or capital plan. No findings. The next series of pages are a description of the PMR criteria ratings. So this is just kind of like a educational document to tell you how they to basically define their rating system. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the next 5 pages until we get to a list of policies. This is a current list of policies.
So, could you just go back to, I have it marked page 5 of 7, and item number F under maintenance plan narrative.
Yep.
You know, the question is, anything else to say regarding the maintenance plan narrative?
Mm-hmm.
We don't say anything. Should we just put the comment no in there?
Sure. Get back to that section.
5 of 7, did you say?
5 of 7. Here.
Got it.
Section 3.1, 5 of 7 at the bottom, F.
Thank you.
What are you referring to, Karen?
It was section 3.1.
Oh, you're going way back.
Yeah. I'm still scrolling.
There was a question about, would you like to say anything else about the preventative maintenance? And Carrie wanted no added to it.
And then just when you got to the policies, I just wanted to ask the other board members if we should review any of these policies in the next few months.
Yes, the 7 of them are more than 10 years old, and a couple are more than 20 years old.
Some of them we can't change.
Yeah, some, yeah.
There's quite a few of them we can't change.
But I think it would be good. to review them.
When was the last policy vote? I see it's
2025,
yeah,
grounds policy.
other grounds, okay.
So is it, maybe we should should just ask you, Colleen, to indicate which ones, not right now, but
Mhm.
which ones we can review, and then the board can determine next meeting which ones we want to review.
Is it just the ones with the asterisk that,
Well, specifically the ones with the asterisk, the emergency response plan. um, The affirmative action policy, you actually do vote on that every year.
Yeah, I thought we voted on affirmative action last year.
You actually vote on it every year. Through CHAMP, it's a requirement.
Okay, so is that under,
That
It's not on here.
Not technically the policy is that we provide for affirmative action.
so we did vote on affirmative action policy in 2025-6
Yes,
in this year.
on our goals for that affirmative action, yes.
So why isn't that on the list here?
I don't know that it's a policy. We have to, well, I guess it is technically a policy, the affirmative
It
action.
says we voted on it in
plan.
78, 95, and then it was updated.
I will review that.
Yeah.
I'll review it with the HLC.
Yeah. It's in twice, so,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, I
Yeah.
guess twice.
thank you, Colleen.
You're welcome.
I just got a notice too from the OHLC about affirmative action policy. I don't know if it's a discussion that's scheduled, like a Zoom discussion or something. Did anybody
You
see
got it today?
Yeah.
I didn't check today.
The next section is waivers. We do not have any waivers from any EU HLC regulations.
Should we again put
Um,
none in there, or?
Let me go back, Carrie, because, yeah, I think I can. I think I can enter I think the software allows me to enter a record, but I've got to enter a record, right?
Yeah.
So in some cases, some of these have drop downs, so I can't enter anything in that field. I have to pick something, so it's not appropriate, you know what I mean? But if there's someplace I can put a comment in the section, I'll add a comment.
It's just confusing because there's an asterisk at the end where it says the list of waivers has been provided by the LHA and has not been verified by EOHLC.
Oh, I know what happens here. There's an upload that I provide, and it says no waivers on it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what it is. I'll just make sure.
Thank you.
It may be in here, but I'll double check. That, you know, the other elements section that was referenced,
Yeah,
it's in that section as an attachment, so I'll double check it.
thank you.
The next section is a glossary. All these housing words
I know.
that many of us already
I
know.
saw
but,
that.
Again, this is another section, I always tell the residents and the tenant organizations at meetings, you know, read this, because it'll help you understand, and if you have any questions, you know, reach out. That's the next 1, 2, 3 pages. And then attachments, the actual performance management review, cover sheet for tenant satisfaction surveys, the local tenant organization comments, and the local tenant organization certification letter. So the next is certification that we had the meeting, local tenant organization participation meeting, and the following residents were in attendance. And then the next section is the substantive comments that came out of that meeting.
I find it very interesting, the comments from the residents.
Mhm.
That's really very valuable, and it wasn't in the download that I got.
That's because I literally probably just did this a week ago, so to update it. Yeah.
Can you send that to us? Can you send that to me and I'll send it to
Absolutely.
the updated one, because I don't have it either.
Oh, sure, absolutely, yeah.
Thank you.
That's good stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ellen. It's good,
Oh, the tenants meeting?
yeah, the input.
Resident survey, the next section talks about resident surveys. So round one started back in 2016. Round two was in 2019 to 2022. And the last round they did was, they list as 23 to 27. The state has the the Donahue Institute, the Massachusetts University Donahue Institute doing these. And so I think that the whole range of years is them crossing all 234 local housing authorities. So they're doing unit mailings at random. I do not know much more about that. They don't publish. I've asked them before to publish other than this little blurb, a little fact sheet on these, on the who, what, why, where, when, and how, and to give us some better data, get more of these out there, do it more frequently, do something, because looking back at old data, it really is, I told them straight out, it's not useful at all. Look, it's just got nothing to compare to. So, and then the last section here is the actual PMR desk audit. So this was an official, they publish every 2 years, Colleen? Yeah. So they do the PMRs, but they don't publish, they publish every other year. And that's the last, we already went through these findings earlier. And that's the annual plan. So open it up for additional comments. And point out anything that is a substantive comment that you would like recorded in the notes that I write up, other than some of the smaller, typos. And I'm going to talk about the board
Expiration date.
term expiration dates in there. Yep.
Yeah, sorry.
But I'll open it up.
I'm not sure if there's any place in there, since this is the Marshfield Housing Authority annual report, right? Or what is it
Annual
called?
plan.
Annual plan. I personally feel that we, as Marshfield, should indicate something about our confidence in the Quincy Housing Authority managing of the Marshfield Housing Authority. And that, based upon what you presented this evening, Rick, I think you did a fabulous job, and appreciate all the work that goes into it.
Thank you.
Agreed.
If you want to provide a statement, you can either email that to me or any of you. I have until, I'm going to be making these updates right away. So the quicker you get it to me, I can let you know when I'm going to submit it. Because once it's submitted, I can't add to it, So,
Should we say by the end of this week?
yeah, that'd be perfect. Because, I got to get it in, I got plenty of time before July 31st, but nothing extravagant, but, yeah. And if there's any areas of opportunity that you see for us, put that in there too,
Does everybody have Rick's email address?
I was just gonna ask for that.
I do. Okay, I'll send it out to everybody.
Okay.
I'll
Rick
email.
Goulart at, I think you said
Yeah,
it somewhere.
R. Broulard, BROUILLARD, at quincyha.com.
But do you want, I would prefer that we make one statement, right?
That's true.
And that it comes through the chair.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you. I appreciate that. So if you could just send those comments to me, and I'll compile them and make one statement for the whole board.
Does a
That work?
statement from the board need to be voted on?
To add it to
We-
the annual
It's not a
plan.
binding motion.
No, it's not a
It's-
binding motion,
yeah,
it's just
because
a
there's
statement
no
that would
real-
be added to the annual plan.
Well, I may not agree with it. If it's gonna be from the board, then it should have the assent of the board members.
We can put it to a vote, we can, put out a motion
Well, we want to vote on the submission tonight.
first, yeah.
Or I could simply just put a statement that,
Attached,
the
not as part of the plan, but an attachment to the
the
plan.
board expressed its confidence and leave it in, and that's it.
Or it could be individual comments. It could be a
It
comment from
can be.
individual board members.
It can be. Like,
I think I'd like one comment from the whole board as a whole, though. I mean,
That's
You'll
what
just have to
should be voted
figure
on.
out how to agree on it, yeah.
yeah, so let's vote on, basically approving the, everything that you went over, the capital plan, the annual fiscal year 2027. So, and then we could add it, as you mentioned, as an attachment. That would be
So I'll
good.
make that motion to approve the Housing Authority fiscal year 2027 annual plan and to authorize the executive director to submit it to EOHLC by 7/31/2026 for state approval.
I'll second that.
Discussion? I was
Discussion?
gonna say, isn't it technically, aren't we technically approving the draft plan?
Well, technically, yes, but we have to get this
The
approved
annual
by
plan.
July 31st.
This becomes the annual plan.
Yeah, once it gets approved.
Yeah, I think, the motion is to approve the plan with the amendments
Right.
discussed in
With
this open
comments.
meeting.
Right.
And to authorize the executive director to submit it as such.
With the small changes that we've made or corrections.
None of them were substantive.
Say again?
None of the changes were substantive.
No, I
So
mean,
it's-
that's why before, are there any substantive changes that, I heard there are substantive changes from the local tenant organization, which I captured,
Right.
and those are factored into this plan by way of that document. And two of the projects that they mentioned here have already been added into the plan. So that was the curb cuts and the unit
21A.
21A, thank you.
Yeah.
So,
Well, again, it would be, I think the motion would then be to accept the draft, to accept the plan as presented. And as amended or added to at this meeting. I don't think we can approve a statement from the board about the performance of Quincy
Not
Housing or
correct.
anything.
Yeah, but
That's fine.
No,
that's
that's
not part of the submission.
That's not part
No.
of this vote,
Right,
No,
correct.
This is just the plan.
We just have to
as
vote.
presented and discussed, and that's it. So I'd be okay with that, personally.
So John made the motion, and Kerry, did you second it? Who was that?
Yeah.
Or,
Well, is there a new motion on the floor?
Just adding as presented, motion to approve the Marshfield Housing Authority fiscal year 2027 annual plan as presented, and to authorize the executive director to submit it to the EOHLC by 7/31/26 for state approval.
With those non-substantive changes discussed in the meeting. There was one that on the Kerry's, on the roof
Yep.
solar and the terms
terms.
and the,
As discussed.
Tenants' comments, for example.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Do I have
As
a
presented with the non-substantive changes as discussed.
That's your motion?
that's my motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? I think we've discussed it enough.
My only comment would be that I understand the constraints under which Rick and John and people work under. This is a crazy system,
Mhm.
this is like temporally, it doesn't make any sense, really.
It's crazier this year
It's a
because they
crazy,
just took all
crazy
the
system.
June fiscals and decided, hey, you gotta get all yours done along with the Septembers too. And it was kind of like, well, I had already started. Marshfield is one of the early, we're the first Tuesday of every month. So that puts me, when they made that decision, I looked at the calendar, I had 48 days. I went, crap. Like, I gotta get this notice out. And so it was drop everything.
So you had
So-
3 days.
You're right. Normally you start way in advance. I start in January. That's, and I get this thing queued up, I get meetings scheduled, I get notices, draft notices, template notices created, get them ready, and it was really compressed this time around, but we got it done.
So
So,
that's all my only comment, so I'm ready to vote.
Commissioner Pasavich?
Yes.
Commissioner Daly?
Yes.
Commissioner Bennett?
Yes,
Commissioner Richardson?
Yes.
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Yes. Thank you.
Did you want to add a statement?
It was.
Do you want to
It
draft
was a
something? and
It
then-
was a suggestion, so if everybody would like to do it, that's fine. If you feel it's gonna be cumbersome, then I'll withdraw the suggestion.
Nothing to restrict anybody from adding anything they want. I mean, as a comment to DHCD, EOHLC, but it-
so comments may be submitted orally at the hearing by emailing the Housing Authority office or by submitting written comments at the Housing Authority office. Comments must be received no later than the close of the public hearing.
So before we close this.
you can't extend that? Like, give us an extra day or two?
I can.
Because typically, public hearings often leave
I mean,
the record open.
you know.
You can state the record is open until a
But I
certain
think
date.
our goal is to make his life, not only yours, but
I could put a
things
simple,
easier
can
rather
he just
than.
put a simple thing, comment on his annual plan, like we did
Yeah,
in the
I'll just
housing authority?
use the word Kerry as confidence.
Yeah,
Anybody have an issue with that, or?
I don't want to express any opinion about the managing authority. I don't think that's proper. I think they're doing their job according to the contract, but I can't make any kind of a subjective appraisal.
The reason I would like to include a comment is that, based upon my observation at various meetings, other housing authorities are not run as efficiently as the Marshfield Housing Authority has been run since the Quincy Housing Authority has taken over the management of it. And that previously, the Marshfield Housing Authority went through some difficult times. And even just to go through the annual plan, it was like pulling hair to get comments such as, or evidence for us to approve that plan. Very, very difficult. So, I do believe that we are being managed in an extraordinary way by the Quincy Housing Authority. And I think if you went throughout the state, you may find one or two other housing authorities besides Quincy who are managing other agencies that are at the same level. I'm not sure you would find any other agency that's above the level of the Quincy Housing Authority. So that's why I would like the state to recognize the fact that, we have a true partner in the Quincy Housing Authority. We have an excellent management through the Quincy Housing Authority, and we're being, I think the results are being shown in the PMR. The results are being told to us by the Tenants Association, and I think at least the majority of the board members of the Marshfield Housing Authority believe that the Quincy Housing Authority is doing an excellent job.
If I may, so, but that is subjective. Based on your observations, you've traveled around the state, you were here when things were really bad here, relatively speaking. And how can I, as a new member of the board, accede to that? I can't. And at the same time, the whole history of housing authorities and the state's commitment to housing authorities has changed markedly. There's more money available, for example, and better operations in general. So it's, you know, again, this is subjective on your part, based on your history and your involvement. And personally, it's not something that I can accede to. I haven't traveled as much as you have.
Maybe we
And I
could,
also believe that the history, again, of the housing authorities, you know, we could talk about incidents and years of mismanagement, et cetera, et cetera. And I don't have that perspective, so I cannot assent to anything like that.
maybe we could each individual, like, for example, the comments that would come from Kerry, and then, you know, you don't have to put in a comment.
Oh, I'm
So it
100%
wouldn't-
agreement with you.
It wouldn't be
Right.
like a unity thing. I also have to agree with, for my work, I have dealt with housing authorities from Wareham to Acton and everywhere in between, including Boston. And I could see the significant difference, and I'm not saying this because I'm here, but there is a significant difference in the activities that the residents receive, the beautification, the whole feel of the residents is very unique here compared to other, and I deal with directly with the residents at these properties. And Marshfield is very unique compared to other properties. Not that they're not, you know, mismanaged or anything, I'm not saying any of that, but it's noticeably different. The barbecues, the get-togethers, the places they have to gather, all of these things which make life living in a community like this much more pleasant, other than the visual, new floors and that kind of stuff. So I do commend Quincy Housing Authority for what they do.
So let's leave it at this, by Friday, okay? Individual, I'm sorry, John, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, two things. One is, I think we speak as a board, not as individual members, so it's the board that should decide if we want to make a statement. And I agree with what Kerry and Cecilia say 100%, but I question whether the annual plan is the place to put this information. I know the board has gone on record a number of times, you know, with statements of confidence in the Quincy Housing Authority. And I'd hate to hold things up here as, you know, just as a practical matter, you know. That's my 2 cents.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Is there a better place that we could, and not here, not connected to this?
Yeah, send a note to James. Send a note to the executive director.
Okay.
Well, do you have a contact with at the state,
Or-
Housing
Yes,
management.
we can-
I can.
Housing
yeah, I mean,
management
as the board,
specialist.
we can,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
A housing
We
Yeah.
management
could give you the
specialist.
email of the housing management specialist at
Yeah.
EOHLC.
Please,
yeah.
if you don't mind, and then if you could send your comments to my email, and I'll forward them.
That would be great, thanks.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right.
Their names are actually in the back document, not their email addresses, but we'll send you that info.
Thank you. So, number 7 is motion to close the public hearing
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
of the review of the Marshfield Housing Authority proposed 2027 annual plan, inclusive of the capital plan.
I'll
Thank you.
second
Do
that
I hear a
motion.
second?
I just want to thank Rick again for being thorough,
You're welcome.
Any
Yes,
discussion?
Any discussion?
cogent. Thank you.
Hearing, well, basic discussions, let's take a roll call, please.
Commissioner Pasavich?
Yes.
Commissioner Daly?
Yes.
Commissioner Bennett?
Yes.
Commissioner Richardson?
Yes.
Commissioner Delgado?
Yes. Okay, on to number 8. Motion to approve the authorized executive director to execute the certificate of substantial completion for Carpenter LLC for state project number 171134, building envelope for 305 Webster. Contractor is 100%. Punch list has been issued.
So moved?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Hearing none, can we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Pasavich?
Yes.
Commissioner Daly?
Yes.
Commissioner Bennett?
Yes.
Commissioner Richardson?
Yes.
Commissioner Delgado?
Yes. Number 9, motion to approve the authorize the executive director to execute certificate of final completion for Carpenter LLC for state project number 171134, building envelope 305 Webster, and make final payment of $4,778.18. Contractor is 100%. Punch list has been completed.
There's a typo in there. The CF, it should be like CSC. That's me, I did a copy paste.
Instead of CFC?
Instead of
CFC.
CSC, it's CFC.
Instead of CSC.
I always do that, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
So I will make that motion with that amendment.
Thank you.
I'll
Do I have a
second that.
Any discussion?
Commissioner Pasavich?
No.
Yes.
Commissioner Daly?
Yes.
Commissioner Bennett?
Yes.
Commissioner Richardson?
Yes.
Commissioner Delgado?
Yes. Motion to authorize the executive director to request an easement from the town to town-owned land to erect and maintain a Grace Rider Development identification sign.
I'll make that motion if that's required, the easement.
I would assume it is required. Yeah. Do I have a second?
That's the assumption.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Yeah, what is it, what is this, is it according to the plan?
If you look at Marshfield GIS, oh, you got it. Yep. If you look at that, you right up front,
So which driveway?
it's,
Oh, both.
I don't know, is
I
it,
think I had it, yeah, oh yeah, I did this
It's right
diagram.
in the middle of the two, I think?
Either or, we
Oh,
haven't
one or
chosen.
the other.
I guess that's something we need to do a couple of bypasses and get some input and see, maybe in the center, but I don't know. I know I think there's a fence along here.
There's a fence. there.
Clearly, you could see the boundary,
I think the
you
left
know.
is the main entrance.
yeah, and then the left is over here?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Because there's a house and it would be hard to see on the right. It
Yeah.
would be easy to see on the left.
So maybe here, so
Yeah.
it'd just be like, my dotted line kind of depicts, just graphically, schematically, what we'd be looking for, just enough to get in there.
No flashing.
Service the sign, no neon, I don't think the zoning regs permit that,
It's a
but,
quick over here, across the street at the paper.
yeah, that was my point, is that there's,
LED, you changed the sign.
there's multiple steps here. I mean, first of all, we have a sign bylaw, and,
Yep. Oh, it-
request an easement, it's more like,
Well,
investigate.
first step, it's that the town's gonna tell us, well, no, you need to do this first, we need to see what you're doing. How many square feet does that, Hingham only allows 6 square feet. We're going through this now, we're going to ZBA on it,
6?
right? Because our typical sign is 20 square feet.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't looked at Marshfield's sign bylaw, I don't know what it is, so I'm gonna look it up. Hoping it's,
Yeah,
bigger than
this
6,
is
but-
an opening stage.
yeah, exactly.
So it probably doesn't make any difference to say request or inquire about, because you're gonna run into what they're gonna make you wanna do.
They're gonna have, I'm sure there's an application form,
Right.
Yeah.
but,
It might be a lease or something like that.
right.
Probably a permit fee.
So, say again?
Probably a permit fee.
Yeah, there'll be a fee on it too, I'm sorry,
Which will be waived, probably.
Yeah, that would be good.
You've been paying,
It won't hurt to ask.
you've been paying for these.
And do we have a motion?
The motion,
Oh,
we do have the motion, we just.
and we need a second?
We have a
Did I
second.
Oh, you did second? Sorry. Roll call then, please.
Commissioner Pasavich?
Yes.
Commissioner Daley?
Yes.
Commissioner Bennett?
Yes.
Commissioner Richardson?
Yes.
Commissioner Delgado?
Yes. And we have the Tenants Association report,
Well, we've
please.
just been doing the bingo twice a week. Some of the tenants have been walking with Katie on Wednesday mornings, depending on the weather and how people feel. And I'm hoping to have an ice cream party sometime in August. I'm gonna bring it up at my July meeting, which is late this month because of the 4th of July, so my July meeting isn't until the 11th. Okay. Well, we've been sending out the newsletter, and we've been making it pretty fancy
It
lately.
was very nice.
Buying paper that,
Okay,
you know, for the season. We've been doing it seasonally.
yeah. Any of the local ice cream vendors?
Well, what we do is make our own, we buy ice cream, and the association stands behind the counter and makes your Sunday according to what you want.
Oh,
And if you want a root beer float, I buy root beer, and you can have a root beer float.
there's a lot of ice cream places in Marshfield.
I know,
So
but,
one of them might want to say, hey, I'd like the publicity to get
no,
some free
we
stuff.
take it out of the association money, and,
Yeah.
you know, somebody donated $100 to me the other night for the
Yeah.
association,
Really?
so,
Oh, great.
Wow,
yeah. She wanted to remain anonymous, but,
that was nice.
yeah, she wanted to do something, so she gave me
Excellent.
to do
That's the
something.
kind of thing that makes living in this community
Yeah, people just,
special.
I had to put on the T-Rock, Helen's business hours at 9 to 5. Because I get tired of getting phone calls at night or on weekends. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I need some time to
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
Too funny.
It's just,
Yeah, I see that. Helen's office, hours.
It's funny.
Okay.
yeah,
Is that it?
that's it. That's my
Thank
report.
you.
So when's your next meeting?
July 11th, next Saturday. My great-granddaughter's first birthday.
Oh, man. Nice.
Oh, When, did you, not to, I don't know if you don't interrupt the last agenda item, but do you, as the August meeting, are you having that or no?
No
No,
August
You already
So
voted on it?
no
Okay,
August
okay,
meetings.
all right.
And then I actually
Curious.
was looking at the calendar, I don't mean to, and we can talk about this shortly, but September 1st would be the first Tuesday, and that's probably going into Labor Day weekend. Or there, well,
Labor Day.
coming out of
It's the
Labor Day
second.
weekend.
No,
No, it's
Is
before, the-
no,
it's
the first
before.
one.
Oh, it's the next weekend.
Yep,
The 7th.
Oh, it's late.
yeah.
Okay.
And we're trying to get back on the schedule of the every other month, so I'm not 100% sure where this meeting would fall. Let me look at my calendar, because I did put them on.
Well, we would have had a normal
Would we?
meeting last month. We were on schedule
Right,
in June.
okay, so
So the next one
July
would
would
have
have
been
been skipped August.
So
So
we should be doing
August,
August 4th would be the
so
next.
August would have
first
been the next
Tuesday.
meeting, so, no, because we're not having any meetings in August. Because normally we don't have any meetings in July. So that would bring us to September.
That would be September 1st.
September 8th. Oh, no, it's
First
the first,
Tuesday.
the first Tuesday, you're right, September 1st.
Which I think is election day this year, right? Primary election day?
not sure.
I don't, it doesn't show up on my calendar for primary. September
State,
1st.
state primary day. It might be the September 1st this year.
So I will pull the,
No, so you would, if your normal meeting would have been August, you'd go to October.
oh, wow, okay. But we're going to September.
No, you should be going to October,
October,
yes. So it would be October 6th.
that's not something we need to vote on. That sounds like so far.
So what is it, no meeting in August or September?
Correct.
Because we had a meeting in July that we should have skipped. Is that the reason why? Because we did one in
Normally, we
June.
would have skipped the July. So we skipped the August, and then
Is there anything that has to be voted on in
if
September?
there is, then we can just call a
We
meeting.
can call them, yeah.
As
We'll have
always,
a-
when we voted to go be every other month,
Yeah.
we did say that if there was anything that needed to be voted on,
Yeah.
or if
I know,
anything came
we'll
up.
have a design contract for the Grace masonry, but that's EOHLC standard house doctor design contract, but yeah.
So, but maybe, is it possible we could get like the financials, because we're gonna get so bogged down
Yeah.
when we
They'll
do the
be,
meeting in
yeah.
October, we'll have a package like that.
Yeah, so I can send you the financials to
Please.
Celia, and you can forward them,
Yeah,
the payables and then any of the statements.
okay. That would be appreciated, thank you.
Yeah, so you get those timely.
So the Tenants Association, and we don't vote on that. No. Managed agency report, please.
Yeah, so the agency report, a lot of good stuff happened. You guys knew about the furniture donation, the free giveaway that the residents had. That was very successful from my year. The vacancy 19D was completed, there's ongoing landscaping being done. The new handicap storm door installation was completed. The water department replaced the water meters for 1, 4, 5, 8, 24, 25, and 28. Monthly food delivery for the Greater Boston Food Bank, the resident cookout, the American 250 birthday celebration was well attended and enjoyed.
It was great, everybody had a good time.
And then we talked about Elvis was here, and
Yeah.
Elvis did a great job. So that was fabulous.
Did.
The completion of 305 Webster Street painting kitchen replacement sign, final cleaning in progress. T-Rock received donations of fitness equipment. I don't know if anybody's had a chance to.
It's right
use
here.
They've been
They are
using it.
it.
Right here, so you guys are using it, that's
They
great.
are.
And then, let's see, there's two things, sports service, a monthly calendar in the back. You know, Helen, I was talking, it looks like there is an ice cream social.
But that's Katie's ice cream social.
That's a National Ice Cream Day celebration.
Yes, that's in July, mine's gonna
That's
be in
July.
August.
Yours is in August, this one's on
Ooh.
July and the 20th. But
Not to
the
be mistaken with.
walking club is every Wednesday except for the 15th, which is, happens to be my birthday, just so you know, is Summer Craft Day. And then let's see, what else? I'd like to see Katie's hours are here, posted 8:30 to 4:30. It looks like every Monday
Monday and Wednesday.
and Wednesday, so 2 days
And
a week.
Fridays, 1:30 to 4:30.
And then, you guys voted a donation for the Marshfield Community Day, Saturday, it's gonna be Saturday, August 15th.
Yes.
And they're looking for
Yeah,
volunteers.
we've got a sign-up sheet.
Yep.
You got a sign-up sheet, so we're looking for volunteers, Marshfield Community Day on August 15th at Brant Rock Chapel. And there's gonna be vendors, food trucks from 12:30 to 4:30, and Joshua Tree, which is a YouTube tribute band, from 5:30 to 8. So that's gonna be a lot of fun.
I'll send out a reminder email to everybody.
Yeah, so get a lot of people down there, it'd be great.
Very nice.
So that's all I have to talk about.
I have a question. You donated the exercise equipment.
I don't have that
I
information.
don't have it either.
Yeah, anonymous donor.
It's anonymous?
Anonymous.
Okay. I'm just worried about liability. I hope it's safe, it's operable, that kind of thing.
It's been used, yeah, they're
Well,
using
it doesn't matter if it's been used, I just
I'm
want to
sure
know that
that
it's
it's
safe, and I
operable.
want to know
We
who
put it in.
donated it. I'd like to know
Okay.
who donated it.
All right, I'll see what I can do to
Because
find
we
out.
can't have people just dumping stuff off here, because, you know, it might cost money to get rid of that, and somebody dumps it on us. It's, you know, kind of a risky thing in my mind.
Let me see what I can do to find out the source.
And also, who donated all the furniture too? I had asked that before.
We got you that answer, didn't we?
Yeah, I thought it was an auctioneer or something.
Yeah.
That I don't know. I
Yeah.
did receive information on some invoices that I had asked about. Thank you, Cecilia, for forwarding that to me.
Of course.
Oh, thank you for forwarding that on.
I'm good at
You
forwarding
sent it to
stuff.
her and she did it to me, okay, great.
That's great.
But yeah, I still need to know where all this donation stuff is coming from, because I'm a little concerned about just becoming a, kind of a dumping ground or anything that might be risky. just concerned about that. So I think we should be careful. Thank
Your
you.
concerns are
Thank you.
noted. Your concerns are noted.
I thank you for your
Thank you.
report.
Thank you.
Motion to accept the drainage agency report.
Yes. Second, thank you.
Commissioner Passadich?
Yes.
Commissioner Daly?
Yes.
Commissioner Bennett?
Yes,
Commissioner Richardson?
Yes,
Commissioner Zuccarello?
And yes, thank you. Any other business not anticipated by the chair 48 hours in advance? Any other business? Old, new business?
just like to make a comment that we received the financial statements, but it's not on the agenda to discuss them.
Oh, yes.
So I would like to have that as an agenda item. Each time that there's a financial report placed into the package.
The other thing I think is numbering the reports are probably beneficial. Though the reports that you guys get.
Oh, yeah, we never want to stop doing that. Yeah.
Can you repeat that again, John?
Numbering each page of the report that you guys get, or there was benefit of doing that?
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right, so I'll find out why. I usually would get them before the copies would be made, and I would do it. I'll make sure that that continues to happen.
Please, thank
And I
you.
think that's beneficial.
It is.
So that's two things we're gonna add. Numbering the reports and making sure that there's a note on the agenda that financials are to be reviewed, not voted on, but reviewed.
Not only the payables, but the complete.
So the
financial-
payables are on there already.
Right, the
but this is
payables are,
financial
just as from
statements.
general, yeah,
Yeah,
from the
okay,
general ledger.
all right, that's good. Good housekeeping stuff.
Thank you. I'd like to make a comment that I had the opportunity to meet with John and Colleen and James and Julie and Rick.
Super
Briefly.
briefly.
At their office in Quincy, and I was actually quite impressed. They have a, like, I don't know what you call it, a war room?
We could call it that.
It was like out of the homeland. Like, it was wall-to-wall whiteboards and notes and, plans and all kinds of good stuff up there.
Yeah,
And it was really very, very nice. It was very organized and very focused. It was a pleasure, thank you.
yeah.
Thank you for meeting with me and explaining so many things and, I appreciate it. Thank you. Is there anything else that anybody would like to?
Did Karen, excuse me, did Mr. Richardson have a question about the financial reports?
Well, it's not on the agenda, so we
We really can't.
shouldn't discuss them.
Because there was a sheet in there that refers to the MRVPs. Is that statewide?
Yeah, that's the state voucher.
Statewide vouchers.
That's for the whole year, I believe.
But not for us. We don't do that on our vouchers, do
We
we?
have
Marshfield.
21 vouchers.
Huh?
We have 21 vouchers.
Yeah.
Amounting to, these look like monthly vouchers.
Those are much.
Okay, so yeah, so they vary from 20 to 24. That is Marshfield.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Marshfield vouchers, state vouchers.
And the other thing under old business, that I might just mention, that we had talked about an easement for the Eversource work. Remember that, we voted on that at the last meeting?
For the electrical
Yeah,
connections?
to bring the conduits and stuff into the property. And there was supposed to be notarized sign-offs on the easements, and I thought I was gonna hear back from somebody about that. I didn't sign it when it came up at the meeting, because I was kind of concerned about not adhering to the requirement for notarization. So if I needed to sign it, I'd be happy to go to Quincy or whatever and sign it under notary
Well, we have a notary.
supervision.
I don't know that I don't know that it ended up needing to be notarized, but I'm not 100% sure.
How did this come up? Russell's been managing it,
Yeah.
but
It was in last month's meeting. It was a discussion about,
Or if it just needed to be James.
did it need to be notarized?
It said it required notary.
Right.
It said it
the
did.
application did?
Yeah,
Okay, then it does. So,
but I don't know who
unless,
else's signature.
unless that's Eversource's form and they're waiving that, but usually,
Let me know.
He was
yeah,
going
okay.
to.
If I need to sign it
I'm gonna
and I
send
need to
myself
go to
a
Quincy,
reminder.
I just want to comply with the law and
Yeah.
do it the right way.
Would that need to be signed by all?
It was
No,
signed
We're
by,
not sure.
it was signed by
Okay.
the
It
four
was
board
signed by
members
us.
That agreed to
with
sign
the
it.
premises that our signatures would be notarized.
Okay. Let me send myself a reminder here.
Notarization usually requires a notary present.
Correct.
Right.
So that's why I
Okay,
didn't
yeah.
sign it.
That's right.
Not to be a pain in the butt, but
I don't know that we haven't, I don't know that there's any notary that would notarize it in witness signature. We don't have one.
so let me know.
We'll figure it
I know
out.
what I asked him to do that,
Eversource.
so.
I can send you an email on that one.
I'm thinking maybe this require, like Rick said, that
I think
maybe it
it
was
probably
their
will,
form,
yeah.
and that maybe it ultimately doesn't require it. So maybe Russell was, I'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find
Rick
out.
will find out. So if,
We might maybe, see, because it's where we have the fiduciary responsibility, we're the board.
right,
So if it has to do with the property that we're overseeing, then yeah, I can see how our signatures. If we could authorize James to sign it, maybe that's possible, but I don't know.
well,
And then James could.
And I don't remember the motion, to be honest, so.
well, they're talking about whole business. They could do a motion to have James.
Yeah, this
think
is
it
old
was.
business. under
Actually,
solid.
can
I
we do
think
that?
that,
Just
wasn't
no.
it paid? One second, me or already done.
Can we authorize James just to go ahead and sign?
If that's legal,
You already did. You approved and authorized the executive director to execute an easement agreement with Eversource.
Oh,
well, that wasn't the form that was put in front of us, though, that 4 members signed.
But that was what it was.
It
You authorized
was
him
not to
execute-
authorize him, it was to authorize an easement, not to authorize the executive
To
director.
execute an easement agreement with Eversource Electric.
Again,
Oh, that was today.
No, that was last
no, it was
month's
June
meeting.
8th.
June.
Yep, in June.
Last meeting.
Oh, that's from the town.
but again, the form that was put in front of us was,
Okay, well,
We'll get some details.
Thank you.
Well,
Anything?
we'll know if it gets kicked back.
Right.
I don't think the executive director would have the power to do that, where the people with the fiduciary responsibility.
Right.
Thank you. That's all.
Thank you. Are we good on the comments? We're good? Motion to adjourn?
Oh,
will
I make a
that
motion, we adjourn.
Okay,
Okay,
do I
I
hear
will
a second?
that.
All right.
Commissioner Passadich?
Yes.
Commissioner Daley?
Yes.
Commissioner Bennett?
Yes.
Commissioner Richardson?
Yes.
And Commissioner Del Toro?
Yes, thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
All right, nice job. Everybody stay dry.
Yes, thank you for.
Thank you.